everyone, and welcome to Ask an Author. Today, I am so excited because I have one of my very good author friends visiting us today, Sandra Bennett. Welcome.
Hi, Michelle.
So great to have you here. It's just like normal, catching up and talking books over coffee, isn't it?
Absolutely. I miss having my coffee and a chat with all my author friends, but
I know, but this
yeah,
is the next best thing.
exactly.
And
Well,
today,
this way at least we get to catch up with author friends from anywhere in Australia or overseas. So it's all great.
it's amazing. And I have got some questions here that kids have sent in because they want to find out all about you and what you do. So do you think you'll be brave enough to answer some questions from the kids?
I think so. Absolutely.
This is my special book that I write down all of their questions. And they've sent in some great questions for you today. So
Terrific.
Emmy wants to know, when you were a kid, did you read very much?
Hi, Emmy. Yeah, I absolutely read all the time. I loved books right from when I was 4 years old. Mum always said I had books that I had memorised. I couldn't read the words, but I knew them back to front anyway. Way to go. So, yeah. So, because I just read and read and read, because she read so much to me that I just was able to repeat everything back to her. And then, should I tell you my favourite book?
Yes.
Yeah, my favourite was Narnia. When I was 10, I got the whole box set of the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yes.
And that just sent my imagination flying. I just thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to have a cupboard that you could go into and go into a whole new fantasy world? Just loved it. So
Yes.
couldn't stop me reading.
Yeah, for me it was Anna Green Gables. That was
Beautiful.
never
Yep.
wanted to have red hair so much in my whole life.
And the other one was a really old series, is the Trixie Belden Mysteries.
Yes. Oh my gosh, not a lot of people know about that, but I love Trixie
Love
Belden
them.
Mysteries.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was something to do with a fountain.
I had that many of them all stacked on a shelf. I had a whole series read. Yeah. Love them.
I can remember my grandfather used to take me to a book exchange down near he lived, and they would, for some reason, they had a whole heap of Trixie Belden mysteries. So I would get to, like, for 5 cents, swap over my book and get a new mystery. So, that's amazing. And do you think reading those books, has that influenced what you write about?
Oh, absolutely, because I love a good mystery and a good adventure and a good thrill. So that's what I've started to write. So both
That's amazing.
Secrets Hidden Below and A Lighthouse in Time, they're mysteries.
Yes.
It's all part of a mystery series, so I love it.
You write what you love, don't you?
You do. You write what you love.
Yeah. Awesome. Grace wants to know, where do you get your ideas from?
Hi, Grace. Good question. Ideas come from so many different places. I live on a property, so the nature around me gives me lots of ideas, especially when I go for walks.
Mm.
I love anything about animals and nature, so that always gives me sparks. But to me, it could just be something that the kids will say.
Yeah.
And it'll be, there's a story in that. I can make a story out of that one. Yeah, and something will just spark you.
Yeah.
But the other thing is locations. When we've gone on holidays to different places, like when we were in Bali, when my kids were little, we were in Bali, and we were sitting in bed at night reading Indian in the Cupboard. I don't know if you ever read that.
Yes.
Loved it. And I would read it. The boys would go to sleep and I'd have to keep reading the next couple of chapters. So, and I thought, while we're in Bali, I need to find a book that's going to give the kids an adventure around Bali.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't find anything. There wasn't anything. So that's why, there's the idea, and I wrote it.
See?
So that takes the kids on a great adventure around Bali. So everybody can now experience Bali.
Yes.
And have a good, fun mystery adventure. It's fun. So
and that's
a lot of, idea.
Yeah, a lot of authors do that. If you can't find a book that you want to read, then you just write it yourself.
Write it yourself. Absolutely. Write it yourself.
Max has got a bit of a cheeky question here. Can you sing?
Oh, absolutely not. No. When I used to teach kindergarten, I used to always have a CD player and I would pump the music up really loud so the kids couldn't hear me. Let the music drown me out, because there's no way I want anyone hearing my voice. No, I am tone deaf, flat, horrible. No.
You can't be good at everything. Anyway. Josh wants to know, do you have a favourite sport?
A favourite sport, Josh? These days, I would have to say it's the football, the rugby league. I've been a follower of Cronulla Sharks all my life. Because that's where I grew up. I grew up in Southern Shire, so I'm a Shire girl.
Yeah.
And we used to spend our weekend watching the Sharks down at Shark Park. There's the whole family, and to me that was just such a wonderful experience to have the whole family together.
Yeah.
We had seats that were in every week, so it was just a very special time. So I've always followed. So best time for me, of course, was when the Sharks finally won the grand final in 2016. First time ever.
Yeah, how exciting.
Yeah. And it was just so good. Really enjoyed it. John and I were down on a drive across the Nullarbor. We were actually down at Esperance when the grand final was on. And we were staying in a lovely little B&B. And we got so excited because they finally won. We screamed and carried on. And because the poor people who owned the B&B didn't know what was going on.
I'm making sure you're
Yeah.
Look, we won't talk about NRL at the moment because my team is the Brisbane Broncos, so I might have to dump you.
Won't go there.
Here's a question. Maddie wants to know, are you scared of anything?
Maddie. Well, I'll tell you the one thing that scares me the most. It's a phobia that I've had for many, many years, and it's actually opening down the sun visor in the car, especially when I get into somebody else's car and I'm in the front seat and I have to pull the sun visor down.
Yeah.
I really can't do it. And you know why?
Why?
Because when I was first going out with my husband, so way before we were married, he brought me down here to Canberra to visit his brother, and I was sitting in the front seat of his brother's car, and I pulled the sun visor down, and a big, hairy, giant, fake spider, fake, mind you, I didn't know it was fake at the time, fell into my lap.
No.
And I almost jumped into the back seat. I was terrified. And it's given me this huge phobia ever since. And we've been married 35 years and I still can't pull the sun visor down because I don't know what's going to be hidden under there, whether it's a fake spider or a real one. And I just go, no, I can't do it.
No, and we don't want to find out. Don't want to find out if it's fake or real. No. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. I never knew that about you.
Yeah. So spiders, oh no.
Wow. Hey, I've got a question here from Phoebe. She wants to know, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Phoebe, I always wanted to be a writer, but I also wanted to be a teacher. So I took the teaching route to start with.
Yeah.
While I practiced writing and learnt a lot more about writing and did different courses and things, and gradually moved my way into writing after that. But I always wrote for my kids in the classroom anyway. I used to write little stories for them about them, which really always made them want to learn to read because they're reading stories about themselves.
So you've always kind of been...
I've always written.
Yeah.
I won my first competition when I was 16. I entered it was a New South Wales statewide writing competition.
Yeah.
For high school kids, and I won that one, and that really sparked me. I thought, well, if I can really do this, so...
That's so good. Sometimes it just takes that one little bit of encouragement.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
So now that you are a published author, what do you think is the most important thing about what you do?
Oh, definitely reading with the kids, spreading the word of the love of reading for them. I love the fact that you write something and someone reads it and they want to read more. I think that's come from when J.K. Rowling first started Harry Potter, when my kids were little. And I saw how much that really sparked their imaginations and how much they suddenly wanted to read. How it got boys reading again?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that to me is what it's all about. It's getting kids to read. And I just love that. It's fabulous. To have someone say, I loved your book. When's the next one coming out? I've done it. Especially when they say, I couldn't put it down. That's what you want to hear.
It is.
Can't put it down,
That's like the best book review ever.
Exactly. I don't care about any others. That's all you need.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, one of my friends her son said, when is book 3 coming out? I need to read book 3.
No pressure. Oh, that's so great. Well, when is book 3 coming out?
Well, I don't know, because my publisher closed.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm going to have to probably publish it myself so I can keep the series going.
Well,
So
there's so many people waiting to read it.
there's so many people waiting to read it. So I'd like to think I could actually get it out before Christmas. Yeah, but we'll see. That's my plan.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Do you believe that books can change the world?
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, they do. Absolutely they do. And as I said, look at Harry. They got kids, a whole new generation reading. They definitely changed the world. You can learn so much from a book. It's so inspirational. It can change your whole way of thinking and learning and inspiration. And it gives you that whole innovation and creativity to keep going, to think of other things yourself. So absolutely love. You learn so much from books.
Yeah.
You can't learn anywhere else. Yeah.
And finally, what would be your advice for kids who are looking to become authors?
Don't give up on your dreams. I did. I started trying to get published 20 odd years ago and was getting rejections, and I left it for probably another 10 years before I started again. Don't give up. Just keep going. Write. Read everything that whether it's just the own stuff that you like to read, or whether it's something different. Expand your mind, see what genres are out there, and have a go, and just put words on paper and keep trying. Absolutely.
That's amazing advice, and I am sure that you have been a huge inspiration to so many kids all over the world just through sharing your story. So thank you so much for that. Kids have got other questions that they'd like to ask you. What's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Through my website, sandrabennettauthor.com. There's a contact page there, and that will send them straight to me, and I'll happily write back to them. No problems at all. Anything they want to ask, happily answer it for them.
Oh, that would be amazing. Well, what I might do is I might put a link to your website in the description, so that if any kids have got any extra questions, or they just wanted to get in contact with you and tell you how much they love your books, we'll be able to pop that in the description so they can get in contact with you. Sandra, thank you so much for coming and answering all these questions today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, look, it's been my pleasure. I love doing anything that's going to help kids learn to read and write and enjoy books and love books. That's the main thing. That's what life's all about.
It sure is. And that's what we do here on Ask an Author. Bye.
Fantastic. Bye.